Welcome in, my man Dylan. What's up, Dylan?
I had to change in the showers at the gym.
Kind of started when I was born.
The Reindeer onesie.
To the Dylan and Nathan podcast.
All right, that sounds good.
I don't know what you're saying.
You know,
Welcome to the Dylan and Nathan podcast. Man, let's do this.
Yeah, I remember that was fun. I remember I kept falling down.
Arkansas? Is there even any hip hop in Arkansas? Yo, what's up? Season 2 is here. You're listening to the Dylan and Nathan show on this Tuesday, February the 18th. Man, it is good to be back. Welcome into the show, my man Dylan. What's up, Dylan?
Not much, man. I'm doing pretty good. It's good to be back for season number 2, huh?
I know it's been a while. We've been kind of busy.
It feels weird to be back behind a microphone.
I know, man. We really appreciate everybody tuning in and listening to us. We appreciate all of you, whether it's through your podcast or through our Facebook or YouTube or on our Instagram or wherever you may be getting us from. We appreciate you listening to us.
Definitely. If you're not following us, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Dylan and Nathan Show to stay up to date with everything that's going on.
That's right. Also, we would like to thank our military servicemen and women, our law enforcement and first responders. We just thank you for your service, and we pray for you and your families. And we just thank you for everything that you do for us and allowing us to live in a free country.
Yeah, it's awesome. So, what you think of that new intro, Nathan?
Man, I liked it.
Yeah, you made it, didn't you?
I did. I wrote it myself.
Yeah, I kind of liked it. I mean, it was a little here and there, but
Yeah.
you know,
I did it. I did it all in a jug.
For real, like
Yeah.
Andy Griffith.
Yeah, you know, like when the Darlings.
Yeah,
It's like-
that's impressive. That's
know.
impressive.
Yeah, I love that show. One of those episodes there where he's like, they're all in the hotel and he's got the whole band.
Yeah,
But they're only supposed to have one person in there. And so they call the sheriff, which is Andy. And he says, I think there's more than one person in there because I hear a whole band. And so every time they knock on the door, they let the band out the window and the dude's like playing on a jug.
just a jug.
It's like, woo, woo, woo.
That's all it is. I
It's
promise.
like, well, I heard all kinds of. He said, man, I can get a banjo sound out of this. I can get a guitar sound out of this.
So that's what you did for
That's
our
what I
intro
did.
there. I
That's
like
what I
it.
did.
I like
Yeah.
That's impressive.
No, but I hope you guys liked our new intro there. This is just some snippets from our last season, some fun times that we had, and
Oh yeah,
so we enjoyed doing that. But it is good to be back
definitely
with you guys and having season 2 ready to go.
That's right. We had a lot happening in our ministry and our church over the last month.
Yeah, that's right. December and January are always really busy months
Oh yeah,
in the ministry. We have D-Nows and conferences and all kinds of things that happen and go on during there. But so it's really busy, and so we're
Definitely.
kind of had to take a break from the podcast for a little while, but we are back. But now it's time to get ready for summer.
that's right. We got camps, VBS, mission trips, all kinds of stuff
Yeah.
coming up. So we're getting ready for that.
So we kind of wanted to tell you guys a little bit about what happened while we were gone, while we were away from the show for a little bit. We had several different things that we did. We just want to kind of talk about a couple of our good
yeah.
memories over the last couple of
Oh
months.
yeah, it was fun. We took our Operation Christmas Child cartons to Lake Mississippi to
That's
drop
right.
them off at
That
the
was
center.
fun. Yeah, we were like a distribution center here at the church, so we had a bunch of them to take. It's like everybody in this community brought to here. So we took a whole bunch. So we had to rent a truck.
A big truck,
Yeah,
a big old Penske truck.
Yeah, we got a big moving truck. So we go to this place to rent here locally, and man, it's like a huge truck, and it's a big diesel truck, and it's like 26 feet. And
Like ginormous.
and we get in this thing, and of course it has air brakes and all this stuff. And typically here in Mississippi, you're supposed to have a CDL to operate things like that, but I guess it doesn't apply to moving
Penske
trucks.
yeah.
But
Like
anyway, the guy's like, yeah, you ever driven one of these before? And I was like, well, not really. And he said, well, the air brakes will be a little different, but just pump them once or twice and you'll figure it out.
I like the vote of confidence
I know.
that he had for you.
Like, here, sign your name here and just take off.
Yeah, how about you sign this contract that if anything happens to you, we are not responsible.
Yeah, you have to buy the truck.
So the trip to drop him off was a lot of fun. We had another guy with us, another young guy. He was funny. We saw this man walking on the side of the road, and my man, he goes, "Man, I thought that was a box."
I was like, dude, you need some glasses. He thought the guy was a box sitting on the side of the road. But that was funny. But I'm surprised that we didn't get pulled over driving
Oh, I
this thing
know.
because it was like this huge white moving truck, and there's only 3 seats up front. And like y'all had to share a seatbelt.
I know, man, that was uncomfortable. It looked like
Yeah.
we were kidnapping the guy.
And so he's a little smaller than we are because he's younger. And so it's me and Dylan, and he's sitting in the middle. And so we're riding by, and we've got this little kid in the middle of the seat with us, and so
And I was sharing a seatbelt.
yeah, you're sharing a seatbelt with him. So I'm surprised that we didn't get pulled over for kidnapping or something.
Especially when we had to stop at that truck stop. He started climbing underneath the truck.
Yeah, because we had to stop to put some fuel in it and get something to eat and stuff.
Yeah,
But,
he was climbing underneath so he could try and scare you.
yeah, they were trying to scare me, so he was climbing underneath the truck, and so like I don't know. We're lucky we made it out of that, but it was
Thank the
fun.
Lord. Yeah,
It was fun.
It was a good
so
time.
that's Operation Christmas Child is a good ministry that sends Christmas gifts to kids around the world, and we were blessed to be a part of that, and we just had fun delivering those
Definitely.
boxes,
Oh, yeah.
and got to meet some new people when we dropped it off, and
Yeah,
everything.
it was
like that.
good. It was
It
fun
was good
time.
stuff. New Year's, we had fun over New
We
Year's.
did. We cooked some chicken, boiled some peanuts,
That's right.
had a bonfire, and we played NCAA, where I
Wow.
got smashed.
You did get smashed. Man, I missed that game. I wish they would bring it back. Like I just wish that they would get over the whole likeness thing.
Right, and just
And I'm not even a gamer. Like I don't even like play video games, but that one I do.
it's just that
Yeah.
one specific game.
Yeah. 'Cause-
Yeah, I used to play it a lot as a kid, so it was a real nostalgic feeling playing the one you had. But I wish they'd bring it back.
Which is I think it's like 2013.
Yeah,
was the
yeah.
version that we had.
7 years ago,
Yeah,
man.
I think 14 was the last version they made.
Yeah.
But it was fun. We had fun. We had our friend Cal was with us.
Yeah, it was fun. Me and him, Nathan has his path at his house that go out into the woods. So me and Kyle were like, "Hey, let's go explore the woods." So we did, and we had our flashlights and everything, and we heard something. And I was like, "Cal, man, that's probably Nathan trying to scare us." And Cal's like, "Nah, dude, it's just a deer. It's just a deer, dude." So I was like, "Okay, fine, I believe you." So we're walking, and we get near the end of the trail, and Cal's like, "Hey, let's turn our flashlights off." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, you know what's coming too.
Oh yeah, I turned my flashlight off. Yeah, it was Nathan trying to scare us. I saw the light right after Nathan
Yeah.
jumped out of the woods.
It was the light of you going to heaven because your heart stopped.
probably I jumped high enough to get to
I know,
heaven.
dude,
Probably.
I scared Dylan so bad. They were going to walk on this trail, and of course it's at my house, and I know the trail. So,
right.
and they're walking through, and but it was fun. It was fun to scare those guys, and we had a good time that night. We stayed up pretty much all night.
Oh yeah, we stayed up till like 5 a.m. playing Monopoly.
Monopoly.
How'd you like that whooping I gave you there at
Yeah,
Monopoly?
you got
huh?
me that time, but since then we've played.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about that. That's not what we're talking about right now.
We're not
is
talking
it?
about since then. Huh?
No, we're not.
But yeah, Monopoly's fun. Cal, my man Cal, he just
He don't know how to play the game.
Yeah, but
he
he
just doesn't.
he hung in there a good while though.
A good 5 minutes, dog.
But
He gave away his Monopoly for
know.
$3.
I know it's fun. We enjoyed that, just hanging out over New Year's and staying up. We stayed in the camper out in the
Yeah,
yard.
it's fun. It's fun.
It's good stuff. January was slammed, man.
Yeah, we had our high school retreat, and that was a lot of fun. We played this weird kickball game where there's like literally no rules except
Yeah.
to get people out, you have to peg them.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun. I was really
Yeah.
bad at
We
it.
played it indoors in the gym, and it's a lot of fun. We had a
It
good
was a
time
good
with that. And we did other things. There was a ropes course there. We did some low ropes and
Little trust exercises there.
Even when we had to like reach in and grab
Yeah,
hands.
it's like everyone reaches in a circle and grabs someone else's hands,
Yeah.
and it's like a human knot. Well, we had a dude. He's standing there holding his hands. He pulls his hands out. He ain't got nobody.
you're supposed to reach across and grab someone else's hands, and well, he was ready to go, except he didn't have anybody's hands.
He's like, "Oh, I ain't got nobody."
I don't have anybody's hands. That was fun though, and then we played some games there in
Yeah,
the
some,
cabin. We played Monopoly again.
Monopoly. I got smashed on that
some
one.
Phase 10.
Phase 10 was fun. I had never played it before, but I was
Yeah.
doing pretty good.
It was good just to hang out and relax, and
It
then
was.
we also spent some time in the Word and learned how to get closer to the Lord in that. So that retreat was really good. And then we went to Grenada.
Grenada was fun.
Yeah.
We ate some good food.
It was
man.
really good. Yeah,
Like, well, that steak was what, 16 ounces? It was
Yeah,
huge.
it was huge. But we had a good time. We got to fellowship and learn from other youth pastors around the state,
Oh, yeah.
and just kind of spend some time doing that. So it was good. It was good. And then we had our middle school D-Now.
That was fun. Gary Permenter came in. He spoke. He did a really good job bringing the word. But we put together this Nerf war. Me and Nathan spent hours putting this thing together. Cardboard boxes, paper, chairs stacked up. It was torn down within an hour.
But hey, that's when we had fun with it.
It was
they were going
fun. It
through
was
and
fun.
they had the different objectives they had to do. But anytime you get like 50 middle schoolers
Yeah, something's gonna get broken.
and everybody has a Nerf gun,
I'm just glad it wasn't someone's arm. That's all I have to say. about it.
Nobody came out physically injured.
Yeah.
But
Just-
like
I was just a little emotional.
when they had the free for all, instead of picking up the bullets off the floor, they just started throwing the guns at each other. I'm like,
that's when it's like, all right, we gotta
yeah,
go to
we're
sleep.
done.
We're
We're
now.
done with that. It's almost midnight. We gotta do with that. So, and then like the only bad thing about middle school Disciple Now, we spent the night at the church.
Right.
So the only bad thing about Disciple Now was the smell of the boys' hall.
The boys' hall smelled like farm animals.
Yeah, it like goats.
It was so bad. It was the worst smell.
And
I've
the
ever
thing
smelled
about
in
it
my
is, you didn't have to like wait until that night. It's 5 minutes after they got here. It
Right.
smelled like goats.
life. They put their sleeping bags out. Oh, there it is.
It's goat smell, and then they started spraying Axe.
I know, to try and cover it up or
It's
something.
like, that doesn't do any good. It just mixes together.
And then it just smells worse.
Yeah.
It just smelled worse.
It's like Gary said, he thought it smelled like the Florida Georgia Line tour bus. Goats and
That's
Axe.
it right there.
But that's pretty bad. So that's how our January went, man. We had a good time with that, and so we were kind of busy through the month, so we weren't able to get on and do a show, and then we had to sit down and kind of think about what the next season was going to be
That's
like
right.
too. So, but we're back here. But some new things that we're going to be doing. We're going to have some new segments on this season and doing some new stuff. But one thing we want to do is introduce a segment called Wacky News.
We're going to take a look around the internet because, whatever you can find and find crazy stories to talk about.
Yeah, so it's going to be pretty fun. We'll just kind of surf around and see if we can find some good old wacky stories, and they're out there.
Oh, yeah. It was not hard to find them.
No, there's not them out there. So we're going to have a new segment that we're going to call Wacky News. So
Wacky
now
News.
let's open the
Wacky
Wacky News. All right, Dylan. So what's up in the Wacky News today?
So today's wacky news comes from UPI.com. Listen to this headline. Man gives CPR to gecko found drowning in his drink. So an Australian man, keyword May, has saved a lizard's life when he fished it out of his drink at a pub in Australia, obviously, and performed CPR on the fallen reptile. His name was Brett, and his friends called him Slab. So I don't know where that comes from. Slab. Yeah. But he said he initially thought the workers were playing a prank on him, but when they said they had no idea what he was talking about, my man reached inside his drink and started performing CPR on this lizard.
That's crazy.
Like, it looked like he was playing this thing like a kazoo. He was blowing on it.
There is a video on there, and so like if you watch the video, then the guy's blowing the lizard like a kazoo. He's like just blowing right into his head, into his face. And then he puts it down on the counter and he's doing chest compressions on
on this reptile.
and it's a little bitty lizard. So, I mean, what in the world was he thinking?
I have no idea, but all I know is the article says it was unclear whether or not the gecko was playing dead. So,
well, the good news is I'm glad that Geico has their mascot back.
I know, man. I would have been really sad if they lost their mascot.
They probably were like shooting a commercial and this guy just interrupted it.
I know. Like, I would be mad.
It was probably a play on like life insurance and
like
hospital bills and stuff. But
15% or more could save you 15% or more.
On
How does
hospital
that even go? I don't know how that
15
thing
minutes could save you 15% or more. And they were going to go like to your hospital bills, but this guy was like paramedic and
He's like,
jumped in
nope, psych.
and started doing CPR on this lizard.
Hey, I'm proud of him for that. He's a real people's hero.
That's a hero.
That's what we need.
Not all heroes wear capes.
That's right.
Yeah, they just blow on lizards like kazoos. Well, I'm good for him. I'm glad he did it. So that's it for the wacky news today. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. We'll be back next week for some more wacky news.
That's
so,
right.
But we want to tell you guys a little bit about our new direction with our podcast. We got some exciting news to share with y'all. When we started the Dylan and Nathan show, we really had no clue what we were doing.
And we still don't have any
We
clue.
still don't have a clue what we're doing, but we're having fun doing it.
That's right.
But it's something we just kind of joked about.
Right.
I remember Dylan one day said, "Hey man, let's just start a podcast."
Yeah, like we were just goofing off into a microphone. I was like, man, let's just start a podcast.
And I was like,
dog.
why? Like, we don't have any. Nobody wants to listen to us. We don't have
I
anything to
mean-
talk about, and we still don't have anything to talk about. We just
ever.
we kind of joked around at first that we were like a show about nothing where we talk about everything.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
us.
So that's kind of what we are. But we kind of joked around. We decided to give it a go and really use it a way to communicate what was going on in our church and our
Right.
ministries. We used it as announcements and things like that. And so since then, we've had people ask us about publishing our church's Sunday sermons. And during our season 2 intro, we kind of mentioned that a little bit,
Yeah.
that we were going to have a Sunday sermon series. So what kind of grew out of that was, after some talk with church leadership, we decided to create a different channel.
Like a whole new channel dedicated to just things that's happening at Collinsville First Baptist. It's going to include Sunday sermons, announcements, special events, all kinds of stuff. We're hoping we can launch it within the next 2 to 3 weeks, so make sure you stay tuned for that.
Yeah, and it's going to be really good because it'll
Yeah.
give you the content that you're looking for on the church side of things. So you'll be able to get the announcements, and there'll be a podcast or an episode that is just announcements. And then there'll be another one that is, just the Sunday
Right.
sermon that was from the previous Sunday. And you'll be able to go back and to listen to those because they'll be on the podcast channel.
But Nathan, are you saying Dylan and Nathan show's over?
No, don't
man,
worry.
you had me worried.
Don't worry. The Dylan and Nathan show is not going anywhere at all. And we've been talking and thinking about which direction we wanted to go and what we wanted to be as a show, because we
Right.
kind of wanted to find out what our identity was and what we wanted to be about as a show.
Instead of just talking about nothing and everything.
Yeah, and that's cool. It's fine
It
if we
is.
want to do that. But this will allow us to branch out and add more content to our
Right.
show. And we still will probably talk about ministries because that's who we are. That's what God
Exactly,
has
yeah.
called us to be. And so we're not shying away from that at all. We're still unashamed of our faith, and we're going to be like
Definitely.
that. And so don't hear us say that we're going away from that. We're just wanting to separate and be able to have another platform for our
Right.
church stuff all on its own thing, and then kind of give us a new direction to add more content to the show. Through this, we'll be able to have more guest interviews and personal testimonies, new music, and new artists.
Yeah, we're really hoping we can highlight people who are like starting their own business or writing their own music, or honestly just have a story about what God's done in their life, or anything that we think might encourage you guys as listeners, or even ourselves, just to keep working hard and keep building yourself up into who God created you to be by using what He's given you to do.
Yeah, and I think I think to me, I like hearing those stories. I like talking to people who are doing things, or maybe they've went through past experiences in life and they've learned some things and they've gotten on a path, and God through His redemption has restored their walk with Him and things like that. Or maybe they're just going out and using a platform that God has given them and using the talents that He has given them. So I think it's all good stuff, and that's where we want to go, is kind of to take that direction in our show and be able to
Definitely.
bring people on that will encourage you and encourage, like Dylan said, myself and Dylan, that in their own life.
Exactly.
And when we feel, because we all have times where we feel down.
Right.
So we want
Definitely.
other people to, we're supposed to build each other up, and that's kind of what we want to be as a show. So we're excited for the new direction, and we can't wait to share some of the stories that we come across.
So make sure you subscribe to the show through your favorite podcast app, or even on Facebook. Make sure you like us and follow our YouTube channel and our Instagram. And that's really all we have for you today, and we hope that you have a great week. Peace
Yeah,
out.
we hope that you don't forget to subscribe and share us with your friends too. Like us on Facebook, because we want everyone that would like the opportunity to tune in. So it's good to see you back, Dylan. It's good
Yes,
to be
sir.
back. All right, guys. Thanks so much.